New York baby, ooh la la. You have all them young for you, you crazy. I remember you were first shy. If a man is called you, you wouldn't try now. It never seemed like your style. But now New York gets too wild. When you walk and whine. When you walk and whine. You walk and whine. When you walk and whine, you shake my house. You walk and whine. When you walk and whine. You walk and whine. When you walk and whine, you shake my house. What you do?
She be good, she whining, she shaking and the bum say. What? She be good, she walking, she driving me crazy.
Look at Bumsy boy.
She be good, she whining, she shaking and the bum say.
Nice man.
She be good, she walking, she driving me crazy.
Where's my baby? Who make a day? Make my touche.
This may sound strange, but I can't change. Now at my age, try and understand. Try explain, Bill and Poser. I am not the soca man.
Don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Good afternoon to you, and you. 5:34 p.m.
The action to keep the party happy. Shake and show your motion. Get down with your baby.
I know you're enjoying today's feature of course, my Calypso Music Monday, but I must get the show underway. Good afternoon to you, and you. 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. The telephone number to call me here at Linkage Radio if you'd like to say hello to all those of you who are just walking in through your door, or you're just about leaving to head out to go somewhere, important maybe. I'd just like to say, ha, 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 you got stuck with me, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can do about it. If you're hearing my voice for the very first time, I'd like to say hi. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez, and this is the show called Inside the Zone with Lady D. Don't forget, at 6 o'clock, we go live with news happenings, and facts right here on the show. Hello to all those who have been tuned in to all the preliminary rounds in terms of track and field leading up to the games coming up in Tokyo. We're going to be front and center, aren't we? Yes, I've been following my Jamaican athletes, and I was tuned in to the gymnastics, and I have even a more keen interest in gymnastics simply because I have a niece in Jamaica who's doing very well at it, so I'm paying more attention, you know what I mean? So I saw Simone at her best. What a powerhouse she is. So man, this year is going to be good. A lot of upsets, I believe. people are going to walk away crying. But the show must go on. Hi, 5:37 p.m. Welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking right here on Inside of the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Hey, everybody. Welcome to you.
From the world stage to the musical stage, some in her inner circle call her Mama Gang. Today we have Cindy Breakspeare. By the way, when you messaged and said that, it put the biggest smile on my face.
Oh, yeah?
It did. Only a handful.
I was so upset when you left. I was like, why? You were such a bright light and had a different approach to things. I really enjoyed you on early morning TV.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I did.
I enjoyed interviewing you. I remember interviewing you about the Halloween stuff at the zoo, Boo in the Zoo.
Did I come with the snake?
You did! Another reason why I can never forget. How are you, lady?
I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
I'm hanging in.
Yeah.
The last year has been challenging, interesting in some ways, very isolating for so many. You know, and I haven't traveled, and I'm just not ready to do that. I'm not interested in the 2 weeks of quarantining there, another 2 when you come back here. Too much time wasting, man. I want to just get the vaccine so I can move around when I get there. So
When you're moving around, can I come with you?
yes, come.
Where are we going after that?
I don't know. Anywhere I want to go now is far,
Let's
except
go.
for Cuba.
Let's do Asia.
I've been there.
Done that?
I went to Kuala Lumpur, I went to Japan, Australia, Singapore. I've kind of been that side quite a bit.
You and I will plan.
Been to India.
Oh, I really want to go to India.
I enjoyed it.
You know what I love? I had no idea you love travel.
Oh, but why wouldn't I?
I didn't even know I didn't put that together.
Well, it's so mind expanding.
Yeah.
You know, when you live on a tiny island the size of Jamaica, your whole life, you think that what we see and do here and what we believe here is the only thing that exists in life to be believed or to be done or to be had or enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's just not so at all.
At all.
No, when you travel you realize that there are many different ways to live and many different ways to look at life.
Yes.
You know, it's very broadening, and I did that at such an early age, you know, so.
That's actually the perfect place to start this conversation.
Okay.
Let's start there. So we know that you have a love of travel, but where did that love of travel come from? As you're saying, you started traveling at such an early age. I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to guess. No, I'm not going to guess. I actually think it's prior to Miss World.
A little bit, but Miss World was really, you know,
Yeah.
what took me all over the world, because I just said to them in London, listen, this is a job for a year, work me.
Yeah.
Anywhere they want me to come, I will go, work me.
Really?
And I think up to that point, I visited more countries than any Miss World prior to my reign had done.
Really?
Yeah, there was something magical about the Jamaican connection too, because you end up in places like Nigeria and places that maybe they wouldn't be so looking to invite Miss Iceland, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
It was like culturally worlds apart.
Yeah.
So those kinds of synergies never really took place.
Yeah.
But I really had a great time, a great year. And I just enjoyed it so much.
We have to go back even further. And we have to go back because I don't think many people realize that you weren't signing up to do Miss World. That wasn't your thing, was it?
Well, not when I entered the first pageant.
Right.
That was bodybuilding.
Right.
And, you know, I wasn't signed up for anything outside of what life had to offer. I just wanted to make life happen in an interesting way. There was
Right.
no money within the family for higher education.
Right.
And people kept suggesting to me, you know, you need to go and enter Miss Jamaica. You need to go and enter Miss something. Clearly you would do well at it. And I was working at a restaurant on Oxford Road. The building no longer exists, 1C Oxford Road. And Mickey Horton James started coming there and started talking to me about the idea of coming to work with him. He was opening Spartan. He needed somebody to train up as an instructor. Would I be interested in that? The first thing that he wanted to do was enter me in Miss Jamaica Body Beautiful.
Right.
And the prize for winning that would be to go on Universe Bikini in London.
Right.
And I kind of said, I could do that. Well, that sounds like a pretty decent gig.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was just always the kind of person who just went with the flow. Whatever door opened to me, if that looked like a good door to walk through, I'm off. I'm gone right through.
I have to ask you though, because so many people are unwilling to do just that, right? Like I don't know if it's a social structure. I don't know if it's just being told you must go in a particular direction, but certain boldness and braveness to be like, this door open, watch me step. Where does that come from?
And in my case, maybe it was a lack of options.
Oh wow!
And
I didn't even think of that.
Here was the best option, whatever
Yeah.
was the best option at the time. Apart from which, my mother is not Jamaican.
Right.
She's Canadian, so culturally her outlook is a bit different. And maybe I wasn't quite so tied and bound by the social mores that Jamaica imposed on its young women
Yeah.
at that time. I had been through 9 years of education at Immaculate, and I found that to be a tremendous education,
Yeah.
and I'm far more appreciative of it today than I was when I was going through it.
Yes.
And any discipline I have today, that's where I got it.
Wow.
But I knew I wanted my freedom, really, to just live and just do me. You know, this is no dress rehearsal. We passed this way one time, as far as I know.
As far as any of us know.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I never meet anybody who come back and said I was here before. So I'm taking it at face value,
Yeah,
okay? And so you really have to make the most.
Hey there, I know you're really enjoying this episode, but I also know you really like my Odyssey by Yendi shirt. So I'm just saying, be sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5:44 p.m. The show is going on here, and I want to welcome you. It is a Monday. How many of you are still having the Monday blues? You just can't bother. You know what time I had a very long weekend. Up to yesterday, I was still up late. No joke, I was up late. But I was up late for a very good reason. And so, can I close this now? Oh, okay. So I was up for a very good reason, and here I am today, all sounding perky and stuff, you know, bubbly up kind of thing. But you know, when you take vitamin D, anybody take vitamin D? Did you know that vitamin D is a very essential vitamin? And I've been taking B12. Yep. So I'm like little Miss Energizer Bunny kind of thing going on here. Yep.
Convent, which was
So I want to say good afternoon to you and you. Don't forget, at 6 o'clock, keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts will be on the way.
had to get up each morning.
Wrapping up this interview with Cindy Breakspear.
Morning bath. First thing you did was kneel in the doorway and pray.
Yeah.
You pray before and after every meal. You have mass each day. Rosary in the afternoon, and on Sunday you have mass, rosary, and another one in the evening. 3 different rituals, religious rituals on a Sunday. And it was just a lot.
Yeah.
It really was a lot. I think we all felt that way. But as I said, looking back now, that's where I learned to understand the difference between the importance of doing what you have to do and what you feel like doing on any given day.
A word.
And that is a really big distinction
Yes.
that we have to make in life, because I don't think any of us, no matter how much we love what we do, get up every day feeling like doing it.
That's a fact.
There,
That's a fact.
well, I think so.
Yeah.
There is going to come the day where you just get up and say, Lord have mercy, I don't feel like doing this today. But, you know, you have to dig deep and you have to find the stick-to-itiveness and walk through it. You just have to.
You do.
And I thank God for that
Yeah.
all the time.
You know what takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness? Squatting. training, beasting in that gym.
Yes.
So let's go to you beasting in this gym now.
So 5:47 p.m. Just Cindy Breakspear giving a little, insight of how she started in the beauty pageant, how she became Miss World, and some tidbits, some do's and don'ts in this music and all kind of business and discipline and so on. So hello everyone. I'm just trying to catch my bearings here because I am doing some, stuff. So hi to you and you. It's so nice to see a few because I've not been able to join my viewers on the YouTube channel, but I'm so grateful that I'm seeing Pat and I see my princess. Hey princess, how are you? Nice of you to join me. And don't forget to share the link with someone and let them know the show is on. Inside of the Zone with Lady D on the YouTube channel. I'd like to say good afternoon to CaribbeanVibesRadio.com as well as SignRadio.net. Hello. And of course, at 6 o'clock, I take you over to news. And right after that, we'll be talking so much more. 914-600-4228. Don't forget to give me a buzz. How about some music just to break the ice for a bit? Calypso Music Monday.
I'm the king of Calypsonia, beating and jamming my hat. Learn to whine when you're in my band. I am not a soca man.
Soca, soca, soca,
And don't forget, if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. Your wedding anniversary, happy anniversary. And a baby was born somewhere in the world today. We welcome life. Don't forget, Inside the Zone brings you interesting features, people, information.
I live in this house tonight.
Did I tell you that I'm all things to all people?
I'm going on we have it increasing. Me body keep moving. I must see the dance floor. Can't stay home no more. My tongue is filled with action. Sweet carnival action. And I'm hearing soca music.
Which simply means I play a little of this, a little of that just for you. And I got boundaries, by the way. And I don't go over soft. I don't veer to the left.
And give me room when I get in down.
I'm disciplined, I'm neutral,
Just to have some fun.
and it's tasteful.
I'll get on that our tongue go down. Tonight we go party, we go party, we go party, we go party.
This one is for folks who love to jam. For Carnival 92, yeah, what we going to do? We coming down, singing one song. It's jamming time. Yeah, the chorus like ratty, 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 ray. Jam one another, ratty, 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 ray. Soaking the soca, rocking it up, yeah, shaking it up, taking it up. Oh, ratty, 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 ray. Jam one another, ratty, 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 ray. Soaking the soca, soaking the soca, soaking the soca. I feel like celebrating. This call for plenty jamming. It's carnival, not bacchanal. It's sounding sweet when we sing it in the street. Ratty, 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 ray. Jam one another, ratty, 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 ray. Soaking the soca, rocking it up,
rocking it up, oh, shaking it up, taking it up. Hey, ratty, 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 ray. That's how we dump it. Ratty, 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 ray. Whining and pumping.
It is.
This lady they're calling Christine.
It is now 5:52 p.m.
She kicking. She says long time she waiting to make this baby for a man to give me a break. She says squeezy darling, you give me party. So tell me whenever you're ready. This is the only opportunity. She want me stick the cake and she party. Oh, she
And so a Jamaica ting coming up shortly.
She want me push me knife in the center. Then we go pose and take out.
A Jamaica ting.
She says stick it,
Some nice food kind of thing.
stick it up anyhow. She want me stick the cake and she party.
Alrighty, 5:53 p.m. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's a Monday. Want to say hi to Pat and to Princess, keeping my company this afternoon. And those of you on 104.5, 101.7, and Sign FM 88.9, CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Hello. I mentioned in the chat that I missed seeing you guys because I wasn't able to broadcast on the YouTube channel. But now I'm back, so here I am. Welcome to a Jamaica ting that me say, and you know how I do on the Jamaica ting. I'm always finding something interesting to share with you. Are you ready? Let me take you there.
Hi, I'm Neville Graham. It's Eat Around Jamaica, and we're in St. Mary at Glenn's Restaurant. Come, let's take a look. It's beginning to get wet. Let's get out of the rain.
Good afternoon, sir.
I hear you have the wickedest espresso in Jamaica.
Indeed, yes, we do.
All right, let's do that.
All right, let's have a seat. Anything that you like, I said, sir, on the
Yeah,
menu?
well, I see where you have smoked pork chops and pineapple.
And guess what? That's one of my favorite on the menu.
Well, if it's a favorite of yours, it's a favorite of mine. What do you serve it with?
It can be served with cream potatoes, or white rice, or rice and peas.
I'll do the cream potatoes.
Are you enjoying the coffee?
It is fantastic. Maybe you could tell us something about this place?
My husband built it 30 years ago from scratch. This was just an open lot. And we decided we'd been in Kingston for a little while and we wanted a restaurant on the north coast, a little chill down from Kingston. And we had it hexagonal shape so that it would just be different from everybody else, which he loves to be.
It's interesting that you should say something about that hexagonal shape because that's the shape of your tiles.
That's good.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It was just to be different. At the time, it was like everybody was square and solid, and if they weren't square and solid, they were painted pink.
Right.
So it was just to be different. What they like now is the consistency of the food. They're not interested anymore in the shape of the building.
I chose the smoked pork with pineapple and cream potatoes.
The smoked pork chop with pineapple and guava sauce. Delicious.
What? You have guava
Delicious.
sauce on it
It's
too?
guava and pineapple.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the coffee, sir?
Great.
Great?
Great.
Wonderful,
It was
wonderful,
fantastic.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
I would like to introduce you to our Glenn's Delight. Here you go, sir.
Thank you. Oh, this is the
Glenn's Delight.
Delight.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great. Ooh, this looks good. Yum, yum.
And your steak knife, of course.
All right, thanks very
Anything
much.
else I could help you with?
I guess I'll have to indulge first.
Okay.
Let's
Enjoy
talk
your
about.
meal, sir.
Maybe you could start thinking about dessert.
Sure. Well, today we have chocolate cake, banana cake. You can have a fruit salad. You can have ice cream. We have vanilla flavor.
Okay, I tell you what. Give me the chocolate cake.
Sure.
Make sure it's warm.
Okay.
And put some ice cream on it.
No problem.
There are three things that really go along with good food: good company, good atmosphere, and good presentation. And I must say right here, they've made a lot of effort. And I think I'll be enjoying this very much. Let's have a little nibble. Nicely done. Full of flavor. It really comes on to you when you're going, you know, nice. It just comes in your mouth and it explodes. Eat your heart out, people. Those of you who are not at Glenn's don't know what you're missing. Trust me. Ooh, yes. I see here. Let's try this now. Moment of, don't move. Moment of truth. How I'm feeling right now is not fit for publication. Trust me. Nice.
Well. What can I tell you? Some of these people, when they are doing these things, it's like they are just salivating so much you want to just say, give me some of that. Oh, Lord. When you see it, you just can't help yourself. 1 minute to 6 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. It is brought to you courtesy of Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Call them, place your order, stop by, just go check them out and say, hey, Lady D says I should come see what you have today. And you just walk in and they'll say, yeah, man, come. Or give them a call, place your order, 718-324-7484. That's 718-324-7484. What time is it? 1 minute to 6 o'clock. Counting down right now to keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. Wherever you are listening to me from, I do appreciate you checking in. As always, I like to say, come on in the room. The room, of course, I'm making reference to is... Hello, sir. The room I'm making reference to is, of course, my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear your voices, and I'll be getting into the news. I don't know if Chris will be joining me this afternoon, but if not, whatever he has to do, I'm hoping he's well. So good afternoon, Chris. We've gotten into a very busy season right now. We're planning for the Fun in the Sun coming up on August 7, and he's over there on his end doing a lot, and it's gotten very busy. So, if you don't hear Chris from time to time, it's simply because, he has other commitments that he must meet. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Welcome, everyone. It is now time for keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. Brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. What time is it? 1 minute after 6 o'clock. Good afternoon. If you are tuning in, welcome to Keeping You in the Know with news happenings and facts. The headlines right now starts off with former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was sentenced Friday to 22 years and 6 months in prison for murdering George Floyd, a videotaped killing that triggered the most profound racial upheaval in the U.S. since the Civil Rights era. The punishment ended one chapter of a reckoning that spread from questions of official force to a broad reappraisal of discrimination inherent in American institutions. More than a year after the killing, matters of race have taken center stage as the nation emerges from protests and the pandemic. A jury in April convicted Chauvin in the death of Floyd, a 46-year-old black man and father. On May 25, 2020, Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds after detaining him on suspicion of passing a counterfeit bill. Floyd begged for mercy as his air supply dwindled. Images of the incident, which followed years of high-profile police killings of black men and women, spread swiftly across the internet and television screens. Ultimately, they led to the rare conviction of a police officer for excessive force. Under Minneapolis law, Chauvin, 45, faced up to 4 decades in prison. The prosecution team had requested Chauvin receive 30 years behind bars in a June 2 memo, saying that his actions shocked the nation's conscience and that such a sentence would account for the profound impact on Floyd's family and community. Judge Peter Cahill issued a 26-page sentencing order in which he explained the punishment. He said it was written in dry legalisms because it was based on not sympathy or emotion. But at the same time, I want to acknowledge the deep and tremendous pain all the families are feeling, especially the Floyd family. As Cahill read the sentence, Chauvin gazed fixedly above a mandatory surgical mask that hid his expression. Chauvin offered condolences to the family of his victim during the hearing, the first time he spoke during his trial, but said little more because of pending legal issues. During the sentencing, both families were allowed to speak of their particular grief. Phileas Floyd, the victim's brother, said the crime repeats itself without cease. Quote, every day I have begged for justice to be served, relieving the execution of George, unquote, he said. Quote, I haven't had a real night's sleep because of the nightmares of hearing my brother beg for his life over and over again, unquote. My family and I have been given a life sentence. Carolyn Polentry, Chauvin's mother, said she spoke for the family. She called her son a quiet, thoughtful, honorable and selfless man. Quote, when he is released, his father and I most likely will not be here, unquote, she said. Polenti addressed her son directly. There is no stronger bond or love than a mother's love. And so, as you all heard, many people are not quite pleased with the number of years, but this is an example, and let's chalk it down pretty much to a start of something. In the past, nothing has come to fruition, so I am saying, all right, something has begun. That's all I can say at this time. Something has begun. Good afternoon. If you're joining me, welcome. It is now time for Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. Right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Taking you to another headline out of Jamaica, Norwood in St. James. Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says a number of violence producers, including lottery scammers in Norwood, St. James, managed to elude the security forces' dragnet by taking flight from the community when the Zone of Special Operations, ZOSO, was announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness last Sunday. Quote, some of them escaped. a lot of the individuals in there who are violence producers are involved in advanced credit fraud, lotto scamming, and they have acquired property all over Jamaica, unquote, stated Dr. Chang. The security minister, who is a member of parliament for St. James Northwest, contended that when the Zozo was declared, it was misconstrued by some community members as a state of emergency. And I quote, naturally, when this zone was announced, a number of people moved out. My understanding is that some people thought we were coming with a state of emergency, so they moved out, unquote, Dr. Chang stated. Quote, it's a zone of special operations, so it's a different concept. So most residents who moved out will move back to their home, then, of course, can be questioned, and the police will have to decide how to use what evidence they have, if it is enough to go to court, or they just have to monitor and maintain the peace until the community is restored to normal, said Chang. Dr. Chang said it is customary for community members involved in the lottery scam and own houses elsewhere to move out when curfews are imposed, adding that a number of curfews have been imposed in Norwood in recent months. He was speaking to members of the media during a visit to the Norwood Zoso on Saturday. He was accompanied by Jamaica's Social Investment Fund, JSIF, Managing Director Omar Sweeney, Mona Sue Ho, Senior Manager, Social Development at JSIF, and National Water Commission Vice President of Operations, Kevin Carr. On Tuesday, during his visit to the Norwood Zoso, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson revealed that 3 illegal firearms were seized and 7 individuals had been arrested and charged for various crimes up to the 3rd day of the enhanced security measure. The security minister, meanwhile, said the security forces are acquainted with the areas where the violence producers operate, which contributed to the early success. On declaring the Norwood Zoso, the Prime Minister said since the start of 2021, there have been 15 murders and 14 shootings in the community, which has a population of almost 12,000 people. And since 2019, there have been 66 murders recorded, with 6 gangs wreaking havoc in and around the area. General Anderson, who underscored the rampant criminal activities that were reported in and spilling over into other communities from Norwood, gave rise to the Zozo in the community. Quote, there are certain circumstances that a community has that lends itself toward a zone of special operations, and that is that you have a long-term criminal activity, usually gang warfare, in that community over time and shootings, killings in that area, and it may also impact on other areas, unquote, said the police chief. And more news for you out of Jamaica. And this is okay. Portum, an app developed to identify people who have contracted the novel coronavirus and their contacts, could be Jamaica's savior as the government seek growth levels in commerce and entertainment while managing the economy through the ongoing pandemic. Quote, Portum helps keep people safe from COVID by setting up safe harbors, geofenced zones of protection, where the app anonymously keeps track of how close people get to each other, while also containing vaccination and testing information, unquote, Binsley Sangster, CEO of Portum Caribbean, told the Jamaica Observer. Quote, it can act as a digital pass or ticket into events, businesses, and transport, unquote, said Sangster. Quote, when someone reports a positive test, the system can determine who may have been exposed to that person and informs others through the app, unquote, said Sangster, noting that Portum is a tool to assist in ensuring patrons are safe to enter a venue, and once in the venue, they will abide by the outlined protocols for the respective safe harbor. He made it clear that these activities take place anonymously without anyone's identities being revealed. Quote, personal information never leaves the smartphone, unquote, he stressed. Daryl Vaz, the Minister of Technology, told The Observer that discussions between Portum and the government are still at the preliminary stages, quote, but it is a very interesting concept, unquote. According to Vaz, early approaches have already been made to his ministry, as well as the Ministers of Education, Youth and Information, National Security and Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. Vaz was unable to say how much it would likely cost the government to have access and use of this technology, how it would be deployed, and whether private companies would be asked to come on board to partner with the administration in an effort to keep the infection numbers down because of the preliminary nature of the discussions. At the same time, Sangster said Portum had met with multiple cabinet officials to discuss implementation of the technology, adding that the Ministry of National Security was taking steps to perform a security audit on the technology. He said, too, that Portum had been vetted by multiple independent digital security services, and his firm was confident that the technology can be vetted and implemented in short order. Quote, Portum is still discussing pricing models with the Jamaican government, said Sangster. He went on to say that the application is intuitive and user-friendly, and we have partnered with a Jamaican company, Diligent eSecurity, to provide implementation and technical support services locally. Portum is compatible with iOS and Android devices and is free for download on both Google Play Store and Apple's App Store. Concerns were last week expressed by several groups and individuals about the possibility of a third wave of the novel coronavirus locally, following Prime Minister Andrew Holness's announcement on Tuesday that, as of July 1, the curfew hours will be 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday to Saturday and 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. on Sundays. The Prime Minister also gave the green light for the reopening of cinemas and the go-ahead for outdoor and indoor entertainment activities with set numbers. It is now 14 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with News, Happenings and Facts, brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone. With International Reggae Day IRD, set for Thursday, July 1, event conceptualizer Andrea Davis is pleased with the support for the global celebration of this brand of Jamaican music. She said despite the pandemic, she continued to receive buy-in from a number of players in the industry across the globe. Quote, there is an increased appetite and acceptance of events involving the virtual experience due to the nature of the pandemic. When we first introduced the concept in 1994, there was no internet, so we depended on traditional means to spread the word. By 1996, when the internet was introduced, we quickly realized that we were able to reach an audience beyond our shores. Today, this is much more tangible and a lot more real, thanks to the device called a smartphone. Persons literally have access to the music in the palm of their hands. We're so happy to see that a seed that was planted many years ago is now bearing fruit, and we can build on a vision, unquote, she told the Jamaica Observer. As is customary, a number of radio stations will be adjusting their playlists to reflect an all reggae format for 24 hours. This is in addition to the events being curated by Davis and her team to mark the day. Quote, "We will give thanks for the long-standing support we continue to receive from radio stations, both traditional and online. We have entities in 13 countries developing content for broadcast on International Reggae Day. One of the big things is the One Love Pull-Up. This is where we are encouraging participants to play One Love, the UNICEF-sponsored remix of the Marley tune. We will also be hosting an online rally wall where persons can go on and state what reggae and One Love means to them. These are part of our efforts to centralize activities and reflect on the real meaning of this year's theme," unquote, Davis explained. Other activities include a DJ relay, which will bring together 20 disc jockeys. There will also be 3 panel discussions exploring various aspects of the music. The first will look at the revolutionary nature of One Love. The second panel will examine music and the digital platforms, including cryptocurrency, which can create other streams of income. The third panel will be hosted by the Association of Rastafari Creatives, which will delve into Rasta, reggae, and One Love. That sounds good, doesn't it? 17 minutes now after 6 o'clock. Good afternoon to you, and you, wherever you are tuning in to the program. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. It's such a pleasure having you, knowing that you're here this afternoon tuning in to the program, and I so appreciate you for that. Coming up in a few will be Community Life, and I do have something to talk to you about in Community Life this afternoon. Now, I know it is hot outside today, excessive heat, warnings, and we have to be very, very careful. Canada, Seattle, and Portland, Oregon are all reporting their hottest temperatures on record in a wave that has more heat in store. Seattle topped its all-time record high Sunday when the thermometers climbed to 104 degrees, so hot that even the normally freezing temperatures above 10,000 feet on Mount Rainier reached 73 degrees. Portland set an all-time high of 112 degrees Sunday, but that record will likely be short-lived as the forecast high Monday is 115. That would mark the third day in a row when the heat was above 107 degrees. Temperatures are expected to remain scorching in the area until Tuesday. That is when highs are supposed to clip to 93 degrees, still far above the usual 75 at this time of the year. Lytton, British Columbia, now holds the record for the hottest temperature ever recorded in Canada after topping out at 116 degrees Sunday. It was hotter there than in Abu Dhabi. Record keeping in these areas dates back to the late 1800s, meaning temperatures like these haven't been seen in these regions for more than 100 years, said CNN meteorologist Michael Guy. The heat wave is a clear example of the climate crisis affecting the global weather. Climate change will also make record-breaking heat waves more frequent in the future, and researchers and policy experts say the Pacific Northwest is not prepared. By the middle of this century, the number of days that hit 90 degrees in the Pacific Northwest is expected to increase from a current average of around 6 to 16 a year, according to a study from the Union of Concerned Scientists. 21 minutes now after 6 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. How are you today? I know that it is Soca Monday, and I have been playing some great selections for you this afternoon. You know, you've been moving and jiving and doing all kinds of things, and I just wanted to hear your views this afternoon in community life. Do you believe that, Derek Chauvin sentencing meets the crime? Do you believe that Derek Chauvin's sentence meets the crime? That's my question for you this afternoon in keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts, community life. How are you? Hey, Ryan, it's so nice to see you this afternoon. Pat and Princess, thank you for joining me. Don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Let me hear your comments this afternoon about, do you think Derek Chauvin's sentence that he received meets the crime that he committed? It is a crime. It was global. We all saw it. And, since then, there have been other police-involved shootings. And we don't know, what's next. We only hope that, people are paying more attention. I commend all the people who are advocating for justice. I commend them. We watch the news, we read the news, we talk about it. And we're not out on the front lines like other people are who have really taken it upon themselves to say this is wrong, this cannot continue. So now that the sentence has been handed down, what are your thoughts? You may call me 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. That beautiful I'm going to take you to something that I saw recently. I do apologize for that. Did you see what they did to the George Floyd statue? The statue had paint all over it, and people were so outraged by it, wondering why would someone do that. And it's not very difficult you ask the question, but you already know the answer. Not many people think there should have been a statue made. Not many people think that lauding over this man who lost his life in such a horrible manner. There are many people who still don't think that it's a big deal. Many people don't think it's a big deal. And so the fact that they went and tried to desecrate, it's a good thing they didn't just throw stones, mash it up, that kind of thing. And I looked at it, I said, my goodness, we've even gone lower. The death is already what it is. It's cruelty at its highest. And now they took their outrage out on his statue. They took their outrage on his statue. And I just think that people are just, we use the term too much, but in this case, people are just too much. Vandalism of a statue of a man who we saw die before us. And it is very, very unfortunate. Don't forget to call me. Let me hear your voice. 914-600-4228. Want to say hi to everyone tuning in this afternoon. 914-600-4228. Earlier, someone was calling me, but I must remind you that once I start my feature, I'm not able to respond to your phone calls. So you have to wait until my feature ends. And then, because, the show is formatted. Here we go. This telephone number so happens to look very familiar. You know,
Oh,
I
good
feel
evening.
like I feel like I'm in
Good
the
evening, Lady D.
I feel like I'm in the rotary days where you have to spin round and I would dial the number so you memorize it. But this is
Yeah,
all visual, so I kind of know. My dear Chris Wilby, what you up to today?
I am good. I am good. It's interesting that you say that.
Hmm.
Um, can I ask you a question? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
You know me.
How
If I can't
many
answer the
how
question, I'll
many
just no answer.
how many telephone numbers in your phone do you know off the top of your head?
About, I'd say maybe I know about 10. And these are
Okay.
people I have
Well,
to speak to a lot. I'd say about
a
10.
regular basis, right?
Yes.
I remember the days when we used to be able to memorize telephone numbers
Mm-hmm.
because we used to write them down. So, and then when you have to call them, you look at the number and you dial. So you get so used to these numbers
Right.
that you end up um, knowing them because you had to physically dial them.
Mm-hmm.
These days, you don't have to dial numbers. You just look for a name and you just press send,
Yes.
and you are calling the person. So most of us, we don't know people's telephone numbers anymore.
Mm-hmm. I know my aunt, my sister, one of my nephews. I know a few people. I know a few people. So I'd say I know about a good
Yeah.
10 numbers that in the event, God forbid, I can bounce back. And there are some that I have written down. I was just talking to a friend of mine about that little black book in which you would log your stuff. Now we have no black book because everything is all digital.
You have,
So,
you have the black phone.
yep, you have the black phone. So how you do,
Yeah,
Chris Wilby? I'm so
I
pleased
am.
that
I
you're
am all
able
right.
to
I am
join
all right.
me because I wasn't sure, what was happening today.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a busy season. Everybody's busy, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just crazy.
yes.
But it's good to see you. I'm here watching you, and I love the new look in the studio and all of that.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a good look.
courtesy of the CEO.
Mr. Linkage
So
himself.
I have to tell him thanks, and I'm so much cooler in here, and life is good.
That's awesome, awesome,
Oh
awesome.
Lordy! So guess what now? So you were listening to the newscast.
I was listening to the newscast, and the quick question I'm gonna ask you though,
Mm-hmm.
because you're talking about the George Floyd situation when I called,
Yes.
and been thinking about it from the other day. The statue that they're presenting. I think they have more than one statues in there. They have, I think they have a bust and they have a statue and some other stuff and whatnot. And I'm a little bit torn, because I understand that this man caused an awakening. However, the question that I'm asking is what did George Floyd really do to deserve all of the accolades, deserve all the praise that is being heaped upon him, deserve all the whatever is being shined, the spotlight that is being shined upon him. All right. And I know this is a very controversial question because people are very strong in their beliefs. But what did George Floyd do? Because George Floyd was killed. He was murdered. His killer is being brought to justice. He was sentenced, and he got maybe not what we all wanted, but he got some punishment, right? And I agree to all of that. That's what I wanted to see. But the question that I'm asking and that I can't really get an answer to is, and I wouldn't mind if somebody could highlight, why are we celebrating George Floyd? And it's a legitimate question I'm asking. Why are we celebrating George Floyd? What has he himself accomplished apart from dying under the foot of a police officer? What did he accomplish during his lifetime? I mean, as an individual. I mean,
well, I mean, right. So that's a fair question. My response to that is, it is not so much anything significant that he has done. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's a monument that has been erected so people will remember what happened, the atrocity, this atrocious act that was carried out by a law enforcement officer in the public's eye. It is just a reminder. That's what I think. Because we know that, yes, in most cases, you have to make some impact, whether it is whether it's social impact, economic impact, some kind of justice, something really tangible that you did. And most of the time when people are getting these things, they are vetted, right? If it's a posthumous recognition, which in this case it is, then I think it's okay. Now we understand that many people have been murdered by law enforcement officers. What did not happen in this case is that you did not have people who wanted to take it to this level, to remember somebody at this level. So people, like-minded people, decided this is what they think should happen. And it went through without a glitch. So that's my take on it. I personally have no issues with it. But again, it's just a stark reminder. So when you see it, you'll remember it. Because a lot of times things are just a 9-day wonder. Something happens, the entire world is in uproar, and then it just dissipates. It just slowly dies. But each time, if you're in that area at all, you'll remember it. So that's my take on it. Because if half of us were to be doing something significant and nobody acknowledges us for it, we grapple about it. We wouldn't stop talk, look how long I've been doing X and Y, right? Simply because nobody remembered you. But even in death, you can say that here is a man who died. You have the Martin Luthers, you have our national heroes, you have everybody who has placed some kind of, did some astounding something that's, for some of them, you can't even fathom why they would have done it. And they were remembered for it. But this is a memoriam. It is. And I was asking the question earlier, the fact that Mr. Chauvin has gotten the sentencing handed down, is that enough? Because many people feel that he should just have been given a life sentence and rot in jail until he dies. For the pain and suffering. His family suffered, we admit that. And the other side suffered, the community suffered, the world, so everybody mourned the loss of this man that way. You know, so that's my take.
Yeah, it's very interesting take on it, and I can accept that. The question about whether or not he got enough depend. He was never going to get life imprisonment because that was never according to the law and the case that was brought. You know, that was never on the books. But I think the maximum he could have gotten was what, 40 years or something like that.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Right. So I think he could have gotten the maximum. I did not believe that they were going to give him the maximum. The fact that he is a police officer, and police officers normally don't even get charged.
Right.
Much less to be convicted and then have to spend some time in prison. So
because he's what now? He's
ideal.
what? He's what, 45?
Yeah.
So he'll be coming out at 65, 66.
If he doesn't, I don't think he's gonna spend all that time in jail either. I really don't.
Yeah.
You know. Based on how the U.S. justice system is, it is a very racist system. So I suspect that at some point they're probably going to give him something for good behavior or something like that. And next thing you hear, 10 years is
out.
Shaved off of his sentence and he's out. So that is what I'm expecting him to be out because he's eligible for parole after 15 years.
Yes.
So I mean, I expect him to be out probably before that. So but I am, as I was saying, it's not the ideal circumstance, it's not the ideal sentence, but I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah, me too.
Based on the fact that this normally doesn't happen.
Because he could have gone the other way, and that would have been another situation.
It could have. Look how many police officers get kill people on camera, and they walk.
Yeah.
They not the justice system normally do not find the police officers guilty, even if they go to trial. They're very reluctant even to bring them to trial, and in the rare cases where they go to trial, they normally are found not guilty. So,
Yes. Now, Norwood in St. James is a hotbed for gun violence.
Yes.
And it has taken the Jamaican airwaves. People are very concerned. You and I know that, I keep saying it, I keep reminding people that although we hear of the number of murders in Jamaica, here in the diaspora, which is the Jamaican diaspora, we are concerned about the number and level of crime that take place there. But it is not the only place that crime is taking place, right? It's just that it has escalated significantly. But people are still going to Jamaica every day a plane landing with somebody in Jamaica, right? And they go and they have a good time and they come back. What people have been doing in recent times, Chris, is rather than going home to their community to stay, they go visit the community, but they stay in hotels and so on just because they want to feel safe. And if you are having, the kind of murders, there are no family feud, even out in Bull Bay. There's a gunfight, and it's a family thing. What, Gossa? There is a, let me read this for you, because it says, there were screams, then blood, now a cloud of fear weighs heavily over Cane River. Tension prevails in the Bull Bay St. Andrew community after 3 persons, including reputed gang leader Christopher Linton, otherwise called Dog Paw. Oh, Jesus, you hear the names of these people. Let me just, I don't like when the Gleaner does this to me, because you realize some of their articles you can't get in.
Yeah, the Gleaner, you have to read it.
So I am stuck. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I just saw it. But you get the gist
of the story. The Dog Paw, isn't he a jailbird?
I think so.
Yeah, he was a renowned gang leader that was in jail for some time, and I don't know, he got released or whatever. But, these guys have been wreaking havoc on the communities for a very long time.
No.
And when we talk about crime, a lot of people normally blame the government. Whichever government is in power, we blame them. And it's time for us to stop the nonsense, because the government cannot stop people from killing. I saw an article the other day where a police went and rescued a guy that killed his girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend. And the mob descended on
him.
The police.
Yes.
Because they wanted him. And I saw people criticizing the police. I think the police did a marvelous job. I think the police did a fantastic job under the circumstances. If this was some time ago, the police probably would have left him to the mob.
Yes.
Right?
But
now,
you can't just hand over. You can't just hand over somebody to a mob.
Right? They pretend as if they know see what's going on, or they pretend as if they might try to get off the crowd, but they can't manage, and they don't allow the crowd to mob him.
Yes.
This police, so you can see there is a level of professionalism, and I've seen it over the past few years. There's a level of professionalism that is taking over the police force, and I must commend them for that. But I see people criticizing the police for doing their job, saying that when they never did it to protect the woman, but they did it to protect the criminal. And I'm like, so the police should be living in the woman's house?
Exactly.
To know that this man is going to kill her, so they should protect the... We cannot expect the police to prevent crime. And just as we cannot expect any government to prevent people from killing. The government can put laws in place to
absolutely
punish killers and, to whatnot, but we cannot prevent people from committing crime.
No matter what. No matter what. It
exactly.
And we do vigilante kind of thing, right? That's what we do. Let's take a call. Good afternoon. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening, Lady Bell. Good evening, Chris. How are you both?
Hey, Pat.
I am fine. Thank you very much, Pat. How are you?
Miss Pat, I haven't spoken
wonderful.
to you. How are you?
I'm sorry, Lady B.
I haven't spoken to you, so I'm like wondering, where did she go now?
I haven't. Yes, I was a little busy last Thursday evening. I toured in. I went all the way upstate. My daughter, she asked me if I wanted to accompany her and my sister, and we went all the way up to 5th gear.
Okay.
So that's what prevented me from listening. On Monday, I forgot what had happened.
Oh,
So I was a bit
not
busy.
to
So I
worry.
said, let me call you now.
You're
Yes, and I'm
forgiven.
listening to the discussion, and I really agree with Chris because I saw the video on YouTube with the mob descending down on the police. But you know, the police, they did a fantastic job because in the past, what the police would have done, they would have given a blind eye and hand over the perpetrator to the mob. But they didn't do it this time. So we see there is a level of professionalism now as opposed to at one time, you know, the police would just leave the mob to descend on the perpetrator and pick him apart.
That's
But
right.
they didn't do that this time. But that guy was wicked though. The way he killed that pregnant woman, she was 8 months
Can you
pregnant.
Boy,
Oh my God.
Each time we have to just say, you know, who does that? How you do that? No matter what it is.
My God. It was horrible. It was horrible. And I guess the mob, they said that they were going to render justice. The police could not render the justice to this man, but he was lucky the police got a hold of him before the mob did, because had the mob gotten a hold of him, they would have just come and scrape up, you know, the body. But, you know, we just see in society now, you know, in Jamaica, they are so quick to blame one party over the other, and it is not necessarily so. But when we look, we see that we're living in a world where wickedness, it's spiritual wickedness that has taken over the hearts of man. Man's heart is desperately wicked, and, you know, we talk about the lack of respect. There is disrespect when it comes to human life. People don't care about human life anymore. They will just take your life as if you're a chicken. They just cut off the neck. But, you know, in spite of the fact we still have to live, so we just have to make do with what we have and just keep on praying and holding on to God's promises, because He promises that He will never leave us or He will forsake us. And when we see these things happening, because apocalyptic prophecies being fulfilled, we say, look up, because it's coming in sooner than we expect. But for the meantime, let us just continue to pray for each other and uplift each other, that God will just, you know, change the heart of man, because man cannot change all by himself. Man needs divine intervention.
Absolutely. That is true. Yes,
all
ma'am. So
right.
good to hear you.
So, you guys, I went to the funeral yesterday, the young lady whose car went over in the canal. Over here in Mount Vernon, and yesterday was her funeral. Oh my gosh. And so she was buried today. I had a very long day yesterday.
Yes,
So
they told me of
I could make it to the I could make it to that burial today. No, it's just too much. But you know, it's a part of life. It's a part of life. Nobody knows what the future holds. Nobody knows what their ending will be like. So
that's true.
All we have to do is just, you know, live and let live.
Thank you,
it.
Pat. I appreciate you.
Okay, so you have a good evening. It was a pleasure chatting again, all right?
Yes, take care.
Good evening, Pat.
Right, you too now. Have a wonderful evening now. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye. Yes, Mr. Wilby. I was saying, you know, when you see a woman in an advanced state of pregnancy, rage and intent is something that you don't even understand it. You don't understand it. Because if you have the intention to commit the murder and you are enraged, you will carry out your act. You will carry it out. And even when you hear the screams and the crying, it has no effect on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in that murderous state of mind. 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. Good afternoon. If you'd like to catch us, you better do so now. 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. Chris Wilby and Lady D talking up a storm, as they would say, about the headlines and what's going on. Is there anything else that has popped out, to you over the past week or so, Chris?
Well, one of the things that's been on my mind, frankly, is the high cost of living across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take it to Jamaica, because it's happening everywhere, especially, I don't know if I want to say post-pandemic, because I don't know if we're post-pandemic, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
The price of everything is going up, has gone up, and I don't know, skyrocketing. And in Jamaica, you know how that go, because I mean, people are feeling the pinch.
Yes.
And the government is going to get the blame. And especially Jamaica, that does not produce anything at all. Do you know that we don't produce anything in Jamaica, Lady?
Most things are imported.
No, Jamaica, we do not produce anything in Jamaica. And so, we are going to feel the pinch down there, It is going to reach, I tell you, and
well,
I see these days when I see my wife go to the supermarket and come back, man, I don't want to see that bill. Because the basic stuff, everything is just so expensive,
Yeah, to fill a trolley in Jamaica is like $20,000 or $30,000 or more, depending on what you eat. What your preferences are to fill a trolley.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
No,
it's very expensive. And I hear,
no, finish your thought. So I will just share.
No, I hear people literally bawling, about it, and they are attacking the government. What the government is going to do about it, but what can the government do about it?
It's just last week. Let's take a call. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know.
Good afternoon, Lady D and Mr. Wilby.
Hi, young lady. I'm all right.
Oh,
I know the time in here. You touch a very valid point there, with cost of living in Jamaica. Because I was going to call Lady D, and I'm going to call her in private to talk about even the JPS. Mr. Wilby, I don't know what is really going on out there. People can't even get the surgery done at these hospitals. The light keep cutting off. Something is not right. Something is not right, Mr. Wilby. Forget about buying things out there, because that's all you're hearing. Because even here, if you notice, I don't know if your wife noticed that too. When you go to the supermarket now, they don't stamp the labels on the stuff anymore. They put it at the edge over the stuff. That means every minute they change it. Every day you would go, it's a different price.
Floating away.
Yeah.
It's like that edge where they can reach it.
No, it's unbelievable.
But guess what, young lady?
We'll talk.
Yes, no problem.
We will talk, Lady D.
Yes,
have a good evening, and don't get caught up outside.
No. Did I not?
Okay.
Earlier I said that if you put a nice roaster outside, you'll be fine.
Yes, I know.
If you put a
I'm
chicken
coming from
leg
outside. I know.
You'll be
I
fine.
know.
It's warm out there.
Okay. We will link.
Thank you.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye.
All right, take it easy, young lady.
The story you have now, there is the matter of food security, which my organization has been pushing, and we continue to push. And we have an area where we have gotten donations and so on. We stock up the shelves and we connect to a lot of food sources, right? And so we have an area where we stock the shelves, and on the last Thursday of each month, the community comes out with their little trolleys and their bags and so on, and they get, some canned goods, products and things to stock up in their pantry. There is going to come a time when we will have rationing. We heard of that during the wartime. We heard of it. We did not know what that was like. But food insecurity is a great, great problem. And so people need to start knowing that when they go out, if they buy 2 sardines, put up 1, start stocking things up, because there's going to come a time when you can't get any food. I'm telling you, sooner or later, things are going to go awry. So in Jamaica, I was just saying to somebody that, here in diaspora, we channel the US dollar through Western Union, MoneyGram, JN Money Services, you name it. Families in Jamaica, they're always calling because they need help. I have told people that I lived in Jamaica long enough to know what it is like and to see, difficult times. You have a lack, there is something going on. And if you have children, they must eat. You must feed your children no matter what, and you yourself have to eat. That is a basic necessity that we need, food. But I was saying to somebody that, when you, good afternoon, who is on the line with us?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
This is a first caller.
Yes, we appreciate our first caller.
Listening to your program.
Yes. Thank you for joining.
And good afternoon to the gentleman too, Helen.
Yes.
Yes, good evening to you.
And you know something, people in Jamaica, really do I love you. Really do, listen.
The Lord just wrote down that little white lie you tell there.
Lord, forgive me. Because she's trying to be cute. The Lord knows she's trying to be cute.
Uh-huh.
Yes, people in Jamaica really did. The other day somebody get me so upset, and I'm telling you the real truth, I was so upset. Send me this stupidness that they have down there on my WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
That they don't need progressive soup. You don't go to the pantry and get progressive soup, Lady D.
Mm-hmm.
Progressive soup almost costs $5.
Mm-hmm.
And they put up all this thing on the WhatsApp and telling you, what is this? Don't stand it here, the tomato paste, the this, the that, and all the dead people, whole funky clothes and this. Come on, leave it down here, we better than that.
Yeah.
Shut up, stop it.
I saw it. But I disregarded that, Daisy.
Lady Day, I discarded too, and I delete it off my phone, and I called my girlfriend and I said, when you see things like this, do not send it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I send things to my sister, they call me and they appreciate every moment and every drop of it. I say, if I send things down there to you guys and you don't know how to do it, call me on the phone, I'll tell you.
Right.
And they should bribe somebody. You see, they don't show the harder things. They don't show the flour, the sugar, the cornmeal, the rice, the milk. They don't show that, right?
Mm-mm.
And they want it to look bad and people up here. Thank God you have somebody sending you something.
That's right.
You know how much country kids getting them food out of garbage?
Mm-hmm. Well, my dear heart, Daisy, I so appreciate your calling, but we are over our time. It's 1 minute after 7, so we're going to have to love you and leave you.
I love you guys too and leaving you. I don't leave you guys. I will talk to you guys later.
All right, blessings.
All right, take it easy. Have a good
Not
evening.
the leaving time as yet.
All right. Blessings,
All right,
baby,
Daisy.
Daisy. Okay, take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. Chris Wilby, I'm so pleased that you were able to call in to do a good half hour with me here on the show, so I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. We'll
right.
talk again next week,
Take
hopefully.
it easy. Yes, blessings.
All right.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in this afternoon here on the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Thanks to Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue. Please support, and I so appreciate them. Blessings, everybody. And we just want to... Oh, dear. We just want to say to everyone, don't forget, the show will be back on Thursday with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you. Who will I have here on Thursday? Valentine Rodney with his book. We should have done that last week. It didn't work out. So I'm hoping we'll be able to have him here on Thursday. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks to CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, courtesy of Chris Wilby. Thanks to SoundRadio.net and also Unity Gospel Radio out of Florida. We appreciate you. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, and I'm looking forward to be back here to do it all over again. It's a good day. Did I say that? Yes, it is indeed a good day. And I just want you to know that no matter what you do, where you are, whatever you're doing, don't forget, Lady D cares about what happens to you. So a lot of love and blessings to you, everyone. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. Blessings, everybody. Did I say my usual? Mwah. I'm out of here. Alrighty, and while I'm getting out of here, let me just take it out for you.
Radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. Best music for your listening pleasure.
I don't know Junex I represent for Linkage Radio 104.5 FM. I deaf them.
There are radio stations within the air, but to this none can compare. Trying to figure what to think, because now with us you're fully linked. Stay linked to Linkage Radio, your home for entertainment.
This station rules the nation.
Pinky Lou, me pants them not tight up on me like a you. Pinky Lou, me pants them not tight up on me like a you. Cause, you know the other day my wife used to go to Citywide Laundromat and she changed and go to one of them bigger laundromat. But now she gone back at Citywide Laundromat, located at 277 East 3rd Street in Mount Vernon. I mean I tell the people, me pants them start fit, yeah! You want now? Pinky Lou? Pinky Lou, me pants them not tight up on me like a you. Yes, my pants them start to fit, them start to have shape, my clothes them start to look good. Since you started go back to Citywide Laundromat, located at 277 East 3rd Street in Mount Vernon, and you can call them right now. Their telephone number is 914-663-1738. 1738.
QuickLink Home Repair is available for all your home repair needs. We specialize in sheetrocking, roofing, tiling, plumbing, and even building new homes. We are fully licensed and fully insured for Westchester and all of New York State. We also have licensed electricians and plumbers. Do you own land? We offer financing services to build your new home. Before you call anyone else, stop and think and give us a call at Quick Link.
Their telephone number is 914-338-6417, 914-338-6417. Give them a call, 914-338-6417.
So now you know, for a construction company, you don't have to think. With Quick Link Construction, you're fully linked.
Honey, you know, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company did you use to send it off? You say, honey, you know you drink too much? I bet definitely your mother you'd use the right company.
Simpson Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 914-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I'm going to tell you something. You see Simpson Shipping? Then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over the Caribbean Island. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Have you ever experienced a bad workmanship? Someone who work at your house and you're not satisfied, but you can't